Hello everyone, I'm Jack Dunigan and this is The Practical Leader. This video is number 4 in a series called Flipping the Switch, and it's dealing with the subject of motivation. In this video I'm going to talk about the story of Sam. As always, you can read the full article on my blog, thepracticalleader.com. Sam's story. Sam is the long-term employee of a major big box retailer. You've probably been in the store. It's a home improvement retailer. Which one it is doesn't matter particularly. Actually, they're all cut just about from the same cloth. Sam's been there a long time. He has a record of top performance. He's developed a clientele that keep coming back to him for purchases. On one particular afternoon, Sam tells me that he was summoned to the office by the department manager, which is a bit odd. Department managers don't typically get too involved, which is probably not good, but he got summoned up there and sat down to find out that he had exceeded the company policy for annual sick days. Apparently there's a policy of using only 5, and Sam had used 9 of his sick days. Sick days in this particular company is accrued by a formula that grants you so much sick time for every hour that you work. And over time, if you've been there several years and you haven't been using it, you can have many weeks of sick time saved up because it rolls over from year to year. And Sam had a bunch of it, and he used it up. And he explained that he used it up because he had been sick a few days, and he had a brand new grandbaby, and he wanted to spend some time with that new grandbaby and, of course, the parents. And so he used up the time. In the midst of this, he said, I thought you'd call me in to congratulate me on $70,000 in sales this month. You mean you haven't done that? Which, of course, was a challenge to the DM. The DM stumbled, tried to recover, and said, oh, yeah, that's good too. Ultimately, common sense prevailed, and the DM withdrew the reprimand. Smart move on his part. The question is, if you're a manager, are you managing what, or are you managing who? And too often managers, particularly in big box stores, and I would assume many other places, end up managing numbers. They don't manage people. And they forget that managing numbers is not the same as managing people. Numbers can be manipulated. People can't, not for very long anyway. And managing people is what will produce for you the numbers. And this manager, like others, I worked at this same store for a while, and I can tell you that 99% of the managers in that store had no clue about managing people. They were really good at managing numbers. They could handle inventory, they could handle sales numbers, they could handle sales projections, they could deal with all of the ins and outs of top line sales and bottom line sales and everything in between, but they were just lousy at managing people. And they actually ran the entire company, which is several thousand stores throughout the United States, by running numbers. What they do is simply, because successful, good people typically don't stay very long, they just run more numbers because they know they can run them through. They're not very good at managing people. Self-help in these stores is not 100% self-help. Customers that come in are looking for somebody to answer questions, to point them out, to point them in the right direction to some particular product, to help them find a product, to find a sale price, to negotiate a sale price. They need people in there, and people are the best assets in these stores, but they're managed badly. The staff in these stores and in most companies too often get the work done in spite of management, not because of it. They get it done in spite of management, not because of it. And when you're dealing with motivation, as I am in this series, this is a serious issue where managers are really quite incompetent at motivating people. Now, the managers too often in these cases manage after the fact, not before. They monitor numbers, and rather than looking at numbers and doing what they can to motivate and inspire and facilitate and equip and release their sales force and their other assistant staff to do the job that has to be done and get them where they have to be, they come along after those numbers have not been met, or if there's a problem, and try to fix it then. They should manage before the fact and not after, because they're stuck on numbers. The DM in Sam's story used one number, 9, when he should have used another number, 70,000. What he should have done is brought her into the office, him into the office rather, Sam, and said to Sam, listen, I want to congratulate you on another outstanding month. He should have dealt with it that way. He didn't. What would you do? How do you think this situation should have been handled? What was the best way to handle this? What does this reveal about the value system of the department manager? And what does this reveal about the value system of Sam? Kick that over, leave me a comment, write me a note, and let me know what you think about this, because I'm going to be talking more about this in the balance of this, this series on motivation. Again, you can read the full article at thepracticalleader.com.